Welcome to this video. I wanted to give you a quick intro because I did originally film this crochet project as part of a video, or the intent to have it in a video with another piece. And then I realized I was in too deep. It was going to take too long and I had too much footage. So I split this into its own video. So I wanted to pop in here before you see the older clips and just say, hey, welcome to this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy it. And let's go ahead and dive into my explanation of the crochet piece in this video. A sweater. I stumbled across a video on YouTube a couple of weeks ago, maybe close to a month ago now, of a ripple stitch sweater. And I think like most people, I would like to believe, I have a favorite sweater. But I want to make myself another sweater of a similar structure of that one, which I will show you once it's clean and dry. But I really liked the ripple stitch pattern. I also have an idea to make a ripple stitch sweater for one of my friends for their birthday, which is in December. And so this is a really great opportunity for me to make myself a wearable sweater that I would love to have. We're in rainy season now and it's only gonna get cooler, and so sweater weather I'm very excited about. So making myself a sweater that I can wear on top of testing a pattern, or kind of testing the pattern. I think I'd make their sweater a little bit more structured than I'm going to make mine, because that's the style they wear. They wear a little bit more structured sweaters, where I like mine very kind of like loose and oversized. So it's going to give me an opportunity to test the stitch and make sure that I get it, make sure that I understand how it works. So I'm going to do that. And to do that, I'm going to use some yarn that I need to get rid of. So as you may have seen on this channel before, I bought a bunch of Wonder yarn from Furls, and to be quite frank, I don't like that yarn at all. I think that it has a lot of fibers that come off of it. Those fibers get everywhere. I get those fibers in my eye a lot, so I do not like working with it. This cardigan is actually made out of Furls yarn, and I had to deconstruct and reconstruct this sweater because the yarn pulled so much that it doubled in length, which was insane to me. So I am going to be using this yarn to use up this yarn, but I'm going into this project understanding that the end result of the sweater might be something I don't love, but it's okay. So I think that's important. I need to use up this yarn because I want to use up this yarn. And I do want to make a sweater that I can use, and perhaps it will be a sweater that I don't mind if I accidentally get into, I don't know, get it dirty. That is what I'm going to be working on. I have two skeins that I had started working on and then re-rolled, so I'm going to be using those. I have some of the, I believe this is Onyx, just their black color, and then I have some of, I think this is called Moonlight, this gray color. I have more. These are just two that were already open that I was in the middle of a project with this one. I don't even remember what project this was. I imagine it was another cardigan pattern, but we're gonna take this apart, and then I'm gonna start a ripple stitch sweater with these two colors alternating. So it'll be a line of black, a line of this grayish color, and I think it'll look really pretty. I like the two colors together. I don't know if I'm gonna love a horizontal stripe because it makes you look wider, but I'm hoping that I like it anyway. So that's what we're gonna get into this week. I'm gonna start by winding a ton of yarn. I for sure today will wind up some yarn. This is the rest of the yarn that I have left from the leg warmers. I also had another one of those skeins that was partially used from the cardigan that I was working on before, so I'm gonna wind these together so they're ready for another project. And that's all I'm gonna do today. So thanks for coming along. I hope you're having a great day. Hoping you're having a great week. I don't know what that sound was. I hope you're having a great week so far, and let's get to it. All right, give you a slightly different angle of my office. Don't mind this. This is a beanbag chair that I didn't put its shirt back on, Oops. But anyway, this is my sweater that I was telling you about. It is from Free People, I believe, but I really like its construction. It's very comfortable to wear, and it's not too cropped or too long. I just like it. It fits like really cozily. So I'm gonna try, it's gonna be kind of hard to see because it's black, of course, but I'm gonna try to figure out what the body panels are like, which it looks like the very bottom is ribbed and our neckline is ribbed, so I'm gonna try to dupe that. And then the cuffs are ribbed as well, which we'll see if I can dupe that. I probably can. I don't see why I couldn't. So basically what I'm gonna try to do is figure out the construction of this. You can see the arm is here, and then the body panel is seamed down here. It's seamed on the outside, which was like a design choice or like a fashion choice, but it actually helps me, I think, be able to figure out how these panels were constructed. So I can hopefully try to just like chain, I don't know how I would do it, probably start from the bottom. Excuse me, chain the width of the bottom. I'm wearing a tank top underneath, don't worry. But chain the width of the bottom, do my wavy pattern up to the shoulders, I guess to the collarbone area, and then figure out how to decrease around the neck so I can add this ribbing. So that's gonna be the hardest part, I think, because I am trying to make the sweater with the like wavy ripple stitch, but also duplicate this sweater as best I can. It's not gonna be perfect, but that's okay. The arms themselves, the front panel is pretty long, so you can see like the arm stops here, and then this part is the arm, and then this is all a ribbed cuff. So should be relatively, in theory, simple. In execution, unsure. So that's what we're gonna start on. I gotta look at the video. So I'm gonna be using the video from TL Yarn Crafts. They have a ripple stitch video that they use for a blanket, I think, which is really pretty. And I'm gonna use that to learn the stitch. And then I'm gonna figure out how wide I wanna make this. That's what we're gonna do. So I'll probably start that this evening and work on it for the rest of the week. So that's gonna be finishing the rest of our week in crafts. It's gonna be that sweater. Hopefully I can finish it in a few days. Fingers crossed. See you tomorrow. Ignore the terrible overhead lighting. So I took some measurements, as you just saw, and we have a width of 32 inches, a height, or like a height, a length, from like shoulder to the top of the ribbing at the bottom of it is 21. The bottom ribbing is 4 inches, and then from the end of the shoulder, which is like kind of down here, to the neck is 14 inches on both sides. So now I have like a rough estimate of what the panel should look like. And I think I'm just gonna start with that. What I wanna do, I think, for construction is going to be to crochet the front and back panels and then work on the collar. And then once I'm happy with that, I can just work on adding the arms. I think they'll be fine. They're just like small little, let me not cover the actual camera. They're just like kind of small. I'll give you like a little clip so you can see what the sweater itself kind of looks like laid out. So you can see what I'm trying to replicate. All right, Tony, you wonderful human. I have been using her tutorial just to get it started. So I chained 115 to start. 115 stretched got me to 32 inches. And the the way that you do this pattern is in multiples of 14 plus 3. So like that's how I got to the number 115, and try to keep it close to the length. Now with the stitch starting, there is some shrinkage in this. So it's currently sitting at like 29-ish inches. I am gonna block this, so I'm hoping that'll help relax the stitches once I'm done. But regardless, I'm gonna keep going. I'm not gonna pull it apart and make it longer because I don't want it to accidentally become way too large. So I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna do the 2 colors that I was showing you, and I'm gonna try to keep working yarn. So I currently have black yarn still in the working, and started with the grayish color, and then I'm gonna use my second ball of black as the third one, and then we'll see what happens. But we're starting. I'm only on row 2, so. All right, I found an issue in my starting chain. It looks like what I did is here's my 4, and then a decrease, 4 increase, 4 decrease, 4 increase, 4 decrease, 4 decrease. So I did 2 decreases here. So you can see it goes up and then it goes down, up. So this whole section is weird. And I only found it when I was coming back, because here's my increase, these are my 4, and then these are 2 decreases. And as I went this way, so I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I would have an increase right here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and this should be a decrease, but now it's opposite because I did 2 decreases next to each other down here. So I am gonna have to pull this apart and restart it, but I'm gonna do that tomorrow. It's very late, so I just wanted to show what happened, so you can see that I messed up, and I'm gonna fix it. So I'll fix it tomorrow and we'll get started again. But this helped. This was good practice for me to understand what the stitch is and how it's supposed to look and how it builds. So it shouldn't be too bad to restart. But yeah, okay, we'll get started again tomorrow. Good evening, how are you? You joined me on the floor in my living room. It is Friday evening, and I've been working on this ripple stitch sweater. That's hard to say. I've been working on the sweater for days, and it's been taking me a while. And I'm beginning to get nervous that I'm not gonna have enough yarn. I started this by saying that I wanted to use up the wander yarn that I had left because I had several skeins of it. But now I don't know if I'm gonna have enough. But let's give you an update. I've learned some stuff about the ripple stitch. Tony at Teal Yarn Crafts is incredible. I have a terrible habit when I'm trying to learn a new stitch of watching the tutorial video, and then as I'm going through the stitch, I will like watch it and I'll play it and like crochet along, and then I'll pause it and then I'll like keep trying to do it. And then when I feel like I've got it, I just like go. And I don't finish watching the tutorial. And sometimes it's really important to watch the whole tutorial. And I found that out the hard way with the stitch, because I didn't watch the end of the repeating row from Tony. And I, for like the first like 6 or so rows, 7 or so rows, didn't add 2 stitches to the end of the row like I'm supposed to. And I found out late, which I think it's okay. I think I saved it. I didn't pull it out and redo it. I think I saved it. It's looking fine, but I just know I messed up, but it's okay. This is all a learning experience. So this is what we have so far. Now, the ripple stitch is gorgeous. I actually really love the way that this looks. I think it looks beautiful. We have 28 currently going. I will finish at 29, and then I need to measure it to see if it's reached my measurement. The length needs to be 21. And I think with washing and blocking, we'll probably get there. So I'm gonna finish this row that I'm working on. The bottom, if you remember, we only had one row of black. And we did that on kind of on accident, on purpose. And then I realized as I was doing row 2 that I just wanted to do 2 colors and it seemed silly to have 2 balls of black yarn. So I made them double, so back and forth. So this is one row, but it actually works out because I'm gonna be doing the bottom hem, which is gonna be quite long in all black. And I think that'll be perfect. So I think that's panel 1. I think I'm gonna be done it in the next 20 minutes, which is beautiful. And then I need to start panel 2. And that terrifies me because I only have, I think, 2 black balls of yarn left. I have 4 of the gray, so that's okay. But I'm worried. I have another one that is also shiny black yarn, but the undertone of the black seems a little bit more red, if that makes sense. Putting them next to each other, you see a difference. Like, they're not the same shade of black. So we'll see. Maybe it'll be fine. Maybe because it'll be the back panel, if I have to finish with this slightly different shade of black, it will be fine. And then if I have enough gray, I was gonna do the arms and cuffs black, but maybe they'll be silver. It's okay. The point of this project is twofold. One, to test this pattern and the stitch and the sweater design that I'm doing. I'm testing that to see if I can do it. And then 2, to use up this yarn that I didn't have any other plans for and knew I needed to use up. So we're doing well. I am hopeful that maybe I will get this sweater done in a week. This is what I'm dealing with right now. He is obsessed with my rain boots and will not stop knocking them over and digging at them. Anyway, I forgot what I was gonna say. I think I was talking about the collar of my sweater. I'm just gonna seam up the shoulders and then do a simple collar. That's my plan. This is taking a lot longer than I wanted it to. I had grand designs that it was only gonna take me a few days to do this. And the fact that it's taking me a few days to do the front panel is like demoralizing. But I'm determined. We're gonna do it. Right, Animo? We're gonna do it, Papa. She doesn't care, but I care. We're gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna finish this panel. Hello, happy Monday. I'm here to give you an update. I have spent the past, I think, 4 days working tirelessly on this sweater, and I finally finished the panels, 2 of the panels. It's taken me a while, a lot longer than I wanted it to take. I really wanted to be able to make this in a week. And I was actually hoping that I could upload this video today, which I'm not done, so it's not being uploaded. But I think I have enough time to upload it in time for next Monday. So that's my goal. I'm gonna finish the sweater, edit the video, it will be up for next Monday. So let me give you an update on what I've been able to accomplish over the weekend. We have finished both of our panels, panel 1 and panel, 2, it's upside down, panel 2. And now I need to connect them, I think that's the best way to do it. We'll see. I also need to decide how I want to make the sleeves. So I need to, this is what it's gonna look like. This is, my tank top's a little long. Let's tuck it in so you can see where my waist kind of is. So this is gonna be how far it goes down my arm. It is gonna stretch, and I'm thinking, I don't know what the best thing to do is. I know that this is gonna stretch because I've used this yarn before and it stretched, it like doubled in its size. So I wanna make sure that that doesn't happen to this, because if this doubles, it's gonna be obnoxiously long. Maybe it'll be a sweater dress, which might be kind of cute, but I don't know. So I'm thinking, like, I've been contemplating actually doing a wash, like a soak, and then a board, and see if it actually does double in size. But I don't know if it's worth it to waste the time, and maybe I should just finish the sweater. So I'll probably just work on the sweater today. I think what I want to do, I have my measurements for how far in the neck should start. So I need to pin, which honestly, maybe I should just use these. That might be good. So like sew up to here so I can put it on and see how it feels, and then I need to figure out how high up I want the arms to be. And then once that part's done, I am going to make the arms, which I still need to figure out how I want to make the arms, and then attach them. I've been trying to figure out if I wanted to do the wavy pattern for the arms as well. Do I want it to be the ripple going this way? Do I want to do the ripple going this way? Or do I just want to do solid color? I don't know. For the cuffs, I feel like I definitely want the cuff length to be a solid color, but do I want the arm part to continue the ripple pattern? And if I do, I don't know. That's where I am. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So I'm gonna noodle on that, see if I can figure out how I actually want to do it. But I wanted to give you an update. We're doing well. I'm gonna go ahead and start this. Then once I have the shoulders seamed, I can do the collar, which I think I'm just gonna do half double crochet around a little bit, give it, you know, a little 1.5, maybe 2-inch collar. That's all. Nothing too crazy. And then I also am gonna do the panels, the bottom, I can't think of the word. I'm not going to do ribbing, but the bottom hem, I guess, I don't know what to call it. Anyway, I'm going to do the bottom piece, also as half double crochet, and it's not going to be connected. I was thinking about doing it in the round, but I remembered the sweater that I'm mimicking, the bottom pieces of the sweater are disconnected, so they have like a little flap on the side. So I'm also going to mimic that on this. So it's just going to be a panel in the front and a panel in the back that needs to be 4 inches. So it's going to be a little 4-inch panel. So that's where I am. Let's get to it. I'll see you soon with an update. Okay, I think what I'm going to try is doing the sleeves horizontally. I'm going to try to match them up with this pattern. That's my goal. So, this opening is 8 inches. So 16 inches should allow me to fit within here. To do the ripple stitch, remember, we have to do something that can be multiplied by 4 and then plus 3 stitches. So 50, a chain of 50 got me to 14. 52 is divisible by 4, so that gets me the number of stitches that I need for the repeating pattern, and then I need to add 3 so that I have the correct base chain length. And then what I'm going to do from there is I will start my first row of ripple stitch. I will do black back and forth, and I'll switch to the gray, and I will do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 rows total. And hopefully that's math. We'll find out together. Hopefully. update. So here's the body of our sweater. Both of the pieces are seamed at the shoulders so far. And then I finished our 2 sleeves. So these are already folded in half. So I need to seam them along the bottom. And then they are going to be, so then they need to be attached here. So we'll bring us to our little stitch marker. And then be seamed at the bottom. So I think what I might do is attach these. This isn't flipped inside out yet, right? Okay, so this isn't flipped inside out yet. So I'm gonna attach these. This would be like wrong sides out if you were sewing. So I'm gonna attach this, and then I'm gonna sew up the side and then up the arm. So this will be like all one continuous seam, which would be nice. I'll do the same on the other side. And then from there, I should be able to do my collar. I should be able to do the end, the little cuff, straight cuff ends of this, and then the little panel ends of the front and back. Remembering that the end of the front and back is gonna have a slit in it. So I'm not gonna do it in the round. I'm just gonna do it on each panel. And then we should be done. So that is what I'm working on today. I have finished the ripple stitch sweater. This is my attempt at duplicating my favorite Free People sweater, and I think it came out pretty well. I did not finish the collar because I like that it was a little bit more open, and it felt a little bit more comfortable for me. The stitch came out really nice. It is a bit of like a mind exercise for me to keep up on the pattern because it involves a lot of counting. Only to 4 though, so you know. But it, it was like more than once I messed up and I had to go back and fix somewhere where I like didn't increase properly or decrease properly or did it too many times or not at all. So that did happen. I am happy that I went through and made sure that I made the sleeves in the same like stripe continuing. I think that came out really well on both sides, so I am happy about it. The only downside is that because I did do a repeating pattern with 2 different colors, unless I was going to like only stitch together sections of the same color, you're gonna see stitches, right? And I'm sure that there's probably a way to seam together a garment that has invisible seaming or something. I don't know, but I am not an expert. So this is what I was able to do. And I don't hate it. It looks okay. It's fine for me. The sleeves came out pretty nice, or the cuffs, I should say. This is my sleeve, and these are my cuffs. They are a little snug, a little bit more snug than I want, but I am hoping that they'll stretch, and I think that they will. They're already a little bit more comfortable than they were before, so they look good. I wish I could have done them in black, but I ran out. So I did what I could with the scraps, leftover skeins of yarn that I had. My bottom little panels came out pretty well. My front panel is all the same shade, but my back panel, I don't know if I can show you. This is really awkward. I had to use a skein of yarn that was in black, but a slightly different shade of black, as you can tell. So that'll stay in the back. You're not really gonna see it that much, so I'm not worried about it. All in all, I'm pretty happy with it. I did mess up on this arm when attaching it to the body of the sweater. I seamed it and then I didn't put the correct sides together when I seamed the arm, so when I pulled it through, the seam was on the outside, if that makes sense. I just did it wrong, and it wasn't worth it to me to take it all apart and put it back together. I was fine with there being a little bump on this arm. Doesn't bother me. It's for me, it's not a gift, so I'm fine with living with my small mess up there. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with my very first sweater. I wore it today to go pick up groceries. It is very cozy, which is exactly what I wanted. It's also pretty warm, which is nice and what I wanted. The only thing I am with crochet sweaters that I'm finding is that, or this isn't a unique discovery, this is just like something that I'm slowly learning about making crochet garments, is that because crochet is done the way that it is, you always have kind of small holes everywhere. You don't get a completely, I don't know the word, you don't get like a full like mesh or full coverage of a stitch like you can with knitting. So that is something to consider when you're making garments. They are almost always, as far as I am aware currently, gonna have some like little small holes here and there. Even if you're doing single crochet, I think this is half double, but even with single crochet, you're gonna get the same thing. I think my first 2 rows down here are single crochet, and like there's a small, like you can see my hand through it. And then this is half double crochet. So like there's always a little bit. So at least for now, as I'm making sweaters, there's gonna be things that I will always wear over an undergarment of some kind, like a tank top or something like that. So just something for me, a reflection point for me that I'm putting into the ethos, if you're interested in my thoughts on that. But I'm really happy with it. I think I successfully duplicated the sweater. The fit is almost identical, which is awesome, considering this is just like I fully made it up, so I'm happy with that. And I was able to accomplish a stitch, so I will be able to go ahead and make that second sweater that I have mentioned in the beginning of this video, because I was practicing the stitch to make a gift for a friend for their birthday for next month. So I need to get started. I did pick up some yarn to test for that, so I'll be making that here soon. But that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on my first ever sweater and my first ever duplication attempt at a garment. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again in the next one, and have a wonderful rest of your week. Take care of yourself. Be kind to one another. See you soon. Bye.